Be at the Cali Club in Ventura next Saturday at 6 p.m. Say you're me, say you're there to see Bogdan, and you gotta dress like you're worth $2,000 a night. You're gonna need somebody's help with that. This bus is gonna take you up to wherever the party is, I heard, and they're not gonna let you take in a purse or a phone or anything. They're gonna make you turn all that stuff in. Okay. You're gonna be around a lot of guys that expect easy sex. What are you gonna do about that? I'll figure it out.
Hi everybody, I'm Peter Travers and welcome to Popcorn, where we tell you what's happening at the movies, we tell you what's happening on TV, we tell you everything. And my guest today, Rachel McAdams, is kind of queen of both media right now. She's in True Detective on HBO, where she's tough as nails. I mean, wow, I'm a little scared of her in that. And then in Southpaw, she's the wife of a champion boxer played by Jake Gyllenhaal, where she's also tough, you know? So maybe this is the first time Rachel's been on the show. I'm looking at some tough customer, am I?
Not that tough.
Not that tough, really?
It was fun to play tough girls, two very different tough girls, but yeah, I guess it's a side of me.
Well, we think of you, I mean, a lot of people go back and Mean Girls was kind of the beginning. You were super bitch in that. Really, really horrible.
Mega bitch, yeah.
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 And then when you do The Notebook or The Vow or these romantic movies that every guy is forced to watch on Valentine's Day.
Right.
Then we see this other side of you. So
Right.
who, before we discuss these, are you?
Who the hell am I?
Who the hell are you? That's what I need to know.
I'd love to know.
Really?
Well, I mean, it's kind of great to. I mean, they're both really challenging. I find, you know, with playing like an ingenue, or you know, you sort of have to be likable. You know, everybody has to want to take that ride with you, and you know, there's a certain charm, I guess, the characters have to have, and you know, that's its own challenge. And then, but it was really nice playing, you know, Ani in True Detective or Maureen in Southpaw, because you know, well, with Ani in particular, she's the opposite of trying to charm anyone, or
she's not.
You know.
She's not really caring.
No.
She's not caring about her roots.
No.
She's going there. She's a detective, and she has a great name. That's, you know, Ani Bezarides. That's short for Antigone.
Yeah.
Let's bring up Greek tragedy
Why
and
not?
everything that can happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it about that character that you said, I want to do this?
Oh, I mean, just the layers to her and the depth of her character. You know, Nick Pizzolatto, the creator of True Detective, just gave me so much backstory. I mean, we talked for hours and hours just about where she came from, how it informed who she is, and where she's going forwards. And I hadn't seen anyone who cared so little about what people thought of her, and
That's true.
you
That's
know,
what she
and
does.
who was really living on her own island, and had such a fierce connection to herself. And she's very self-possessed, but also very hard on herself at the same time. I like that she's full of these contradictions.
There's an amazing shootout scene, which I hadn't seen you do anything like before, but I might be missing something.
I had a little lady gun in Sherlock Holmes.
That doesn't count. The lady gun? These weren't lady guns.
These are not lady guns.
This
I
was
could barely get my hand around this gun.
You're running and everything is boom. And what was that like for you? Were you enjoying it?
I had a really great consultant who was in the LAPD for many decades, who was just awesome and really on top of it. He said, you know, I want you to look like you've been doing this for 10 years. And he was teaching me how to reload on the run, which was kind of a big deal to do. So we practiced that a lot outside my trailer, just running and reloading, reloading over and over and over again. So that was...
So you're ready. You are prepped for any eventuality then.
Yeah.
You can run and reload.
I can run and reload. I can chew gum and walk at the same time, yeah.
When you look at you in True Detective, is there a moment that Ani has as a character that to you sort of sums up who she is in terms of how you're playing her?
I mean, there is a line that I say early on in the show about, could you do this job if nearly everyone you encountered could overpower you. And, you know, she's explaining why she carries not one but 3 knives around at all times on her person.
You have anything on you now? I don't see where you put it. But,
yeah, no, they're there. They're there. Yeah,
okay.
don't worry. I've gotten good at disguising them. You know, I think she's just very protective of herself, of the people around her who can't protect themselves. She carries these knives to fend people off and sort of always keep people at a distance. She doesn't know how to connect to people, you know, emotionally. She, you know, in romantic relationships and friendships, she doesn't have very many friends. She can't connect to her family, even her sister. You know, she's even somehow found a way to distance herself from her.
So you finished True Detective, and then you did Southpaw as a movie.
I actually did Southpaw before,
It was before
True Detective.
Because in Southpaw, this Maureen is a woman who is emotionally connected, even though she came up tough in the projects with the Jake Gyllenhaal character.
Yeah.
So what was the attraction to do that role?
Well, I mean, I was very excited about Antoine's vision for the character. He really wanted her to have a lot of heart, but a lot of grit, and, you know, be the head of that household. That Billy was both her partner and lover and best friend, but also kind of her child sometimes. And I thought that was an interesting dynamic to explore. It's interesting, that sort of just dawned on me that both Ani and Maureen are very about protection, about protecting those that they love. And, you know, those that can't protect themselves. So I guess there was a theme in terms of that.
But I heard, even though you don't really box in the movie, that you trained.
Yeah.
Did you just want to beat the crap out of Jake?
That was
he showing off too much?
You found me out.
Yeah.
I just, I was really just very interested. I didn't, you know, another thing I was so excited about with this film was just diving into a world I knew nothing about when I went into it. So I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could about boxing. And Jake was working with these great trainers, and, you know, and I said, if you guys have any spare time, I'd love to get in the ring as well. So they very, very kindly took me under their wing and then kicked my ass.
Really?
Yeah.
But when you look at your career now, before we went on, I brought up Shotgun Love Dolls, as I want to do.
Yes,
you know,
which
I mean, that
was
really
shocking.
is it. That was it.
That was it.
That was a movie that, just by title alone, could have set the trajectory for the career of Rachel McAdams, and somehow did not. Because I guess you didn't have a shotgun, you were just using a regular pistol on this.
I was not a shotgun love doll, that was the problem. Yeah.
But you, looking at your own work, what were like the 4 or 5 movies that go in your own time capsule because you learned the most from them?
Well, I suppose I did a film called The Hot Chick with Rob Schneider, which was a body switching movie.
It was. You two were just,
Right. And that was probably one of the most challenging things I've ever had to do. It's my first big, you know, American film, and I was terrified. I had to do a striptease as Rob Schneider, taking advantage of my body to try to make money as a stripper. And I was wearing a mechanic's outfit and a trucker hat and high heels and a pink leather bikini underneath. And I had to go out there and strip in front of all of my colleagues, and I just thought I was going to die. I remember that moment backstage thinking, what the hell am I doing?
You're allowed to say that on
Am I? Okay.
cable, yes. Well, what comes after that then? That is teaching you.
I mean,
Mean
I
Girls
learned a
comes
great deal
after
about comedy from Mean Girls, yeah. From just watching Tina Fey and Amy Poehler and Mark Waters, who's the director. Just learned a lot about timing. I learned a lot about that from Woody Allen, too.
When he cast you in Midnight in Paris, he didn't cast you in the ingenue way. You were a complex, very difficult woman.
Right.
Really, you know?
Yes.
You're not doing body switches or anything, but there was a
Right.
problem. I'm getting the feeling that you're attracted to this kind of role.
I am. They're so much fun. You know, there's less, like I said, there's less responsibility to kind of track the character with the audience. You know, you have a little bit more freedom to be dastardly and to, I guess, be a heightened character, you know? But, you know, those villains and those really, you know, bold characters are just, you know, you just feel like you have a lot of latitude. So, yeah, but I remember Woody saying to me, I was trying to make her less of a villain, and he was like, "You're the villain. Just accept it." You know, I would try to like cozy up to Owen and say, "Oh, honey, it's okay," and sort of show another side to her. He's like, "You don't like him. You're sleeping with this guy over here." You know, you're not into your fiance.
Get this. You don't care about it.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that was very that was a great experience too.
When you do the Notebook, do you know when you're doing it that it's going to become this? It's not even a cult because it's too big just to be as small as a cult. That all that would happen?
No.
Do people come up to you and say, "The Notebook still"?
Yeah, it's very nice. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but
the rest of the world has.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so amazing to be, you know, a part of something like that reaches people and they're still turning it on. So, but no, I had no idea when I was doing it. I thought I was going to be fired. So
Real.
That was another, you know, one where I learned a great deal. It was the biggest role I had done yet, and Nick Cassavetes was just extraordinary. You know, really wanted the truth every day and wanted as much as I could bring to the table, stuff I didn't even know I had in me, he was asking for. So I'm glad it worked out because we put a lot into it.
Having you on the show is a great treat for me, but you haven't been on before, so you don't really know that it always ends in song.
It ends in song?
Always. It ends in some little snippet of melody that's in your heart and inside your head. Yeah.
Wow.
Music must be a part of your life.
I love music so much. Oh gosh.
We have all the time in the world.
We do?
Yeah, right.
Good.
I could just keep staring at you until there must be something you sang in the shower this morning.
The Bare Necessities?
I love that.
Okay, you want to do it with me?
If I could remember it, but if you start me, I could probably pick it up.
Look for the
bare necessities,
the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. Yeah, man. That's your part.
Forget about your
worries and your strife.
It's perfect. Rachel, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So nice to be here.